Hey y'all, sometimes in life you just need a stinking good chocolate chip cookie. Today I want to show you how to make what I call deli style chocolate chip cookies. These aren't your typical chocolate chip cookie. Instead of being made with all flour, you grind up oatmeal and it gives them a nice thick texture. Soft and chewy, but a little bit crisp on the outside. So to start off, you want to have your blender or food processor. I like to use a blender. You want to put 2 cups of old-fashioned or quick oats in the blender. Put the lid on. And then blend on low speed until they're roughly chopped up. Increasing the speed as they get more chopped. Now then shake it up, and when they're kind of, there's a few coarse pieces, but they're mostly ground up. This needs to be blended a little more, but just a little bit. You want to have some of the texture in your cookies. There we go. Okay, now then place this in a medium bowl, because we're going to mix together some other dry ingredients with this. So it's kind of mostly ground up. There's a few pieces of oatmeal. It's rough, a little rougher than cornmeal. There's some larger pieces. This is going to give your cookies good texture and really good flavor. So in the bowl of a standing mixer, you can use a hand mixer, fit it with the paddle. You want to place 2 sticks of unsalted soft butter. You can use salted or margarine. If that's what you have on hand. Just make sure they're soft so that they blend together quickly. I always have to get every little bit of butter off the wrapper. Okay, so then beat these together until it's combined. Then we're going to add brown sugar and white sugar. So you want to add 1.5 cups of light packed brown sugar. So to measure brown sugar, just kind of put the cup in there and then press it against like the container the brown sugar's in. And then level off the top. And you know, if it holds its shape mostly, it was packed enough. So we have 1 cup, now we need 1/2 cup, for a total of 1.5 cups. Then you want to add 1/2 cup of just regular granulated sugar. Well, that brown sugar is going to give the cookies a very soft texture, a lot of that molasses flavor. So then beat this together until it's smooth and creamy, a little fluffy, medium speed, about number 6 on a KitchenAid. Alright, so then over here in our bowl that we had our oatmeal in, you want to add 2 cups of regular all-purpose flour. Now you could here substitute 1 cup of whole wheat flour for a cup of the all-purpose if you wanted to be a little healthy. Of course, if you want to be healthy, you wouldn't be eating cookies, so. Then you want to add a teaspoon of regular baking powder. And a teaspoon of salt. Now, salt is very important in these because it brings out the whole flavor of the cookie. Without it, they're bland. I cut the salt back at one time and they just weren't the same. So then just stir this together, and you can use a whisk or a spoon just to thoroughly combine those ingredients, the flour and the oatmeal and the salt and the baking powder. We're going to come over here. This is looking really smooth. Now this will be really easy if your butter is soft. If it's not going to come together very well. So you want to make sure that your butter is soft. Scrape that bowl down well. Make sure everything gets combined. Then you want to add 2 eggs. And they'll blend together if they're more at room temperature. If they're not, that's okay. I just put these in a bowl so there's no chance of shell getting in here. Nothing can ruin a cookie quicker than having chewing on shell. Make sure you beat those in pretty well. Cookies have a better texture when you beat the eggs in thoroughly. They seem to puff up more and be less grainy. Thoroughly melt in your mouth. So then scrape it down again. Scraping the bowl is key to making sure that everything is mixed together well. And when you do that, it really makes everything taste better. So then you want to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, regular or imitation, doesn't matter. Thoroughly mix that in there. Now for the dry ingredients, you want to add these on the lowest speed possible. Add about half. When it gets combined, then add the rest of them. It's coming together. And mix that in slowly. This is going to be a really stiff dough. Now before that's thoroughly mixed, you want to add 1 package, 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use milk chocolate, butterscotch, bittersweet, and they're really good if you dump in an extra half a package, so 6 ounces or so of more chocolate. You can cut up a chocolate bar. I'm using milk chocolate chips. That really makes them delicious. You don't have to. I sometimes just make them with only 1 bag. But this makes them over the top. So mix in all the chocolate on low speed. Add these in. That's stiff. I hate to be mixing that by hand. And this dough just smells amazing with the oatmeal and the butter and the vanilla. It's going to be hard to keep your hands out of this. Now this makes quite a large batch, so don't be afraid of running out of cookies. So then just kind of scrape the bowl down. Make sure all that stuff is thoroughly mixed in. And you can even, if you want to add in chopped nuts, pecans are excellent in these. It's also great if you toast them. Toast the whole pecans at 350 for about 6 to 8 minutes. It's not necessary, but those add so much flavor to the nut if you toast them. Alright, so that dough is thoroughly mixed. Now we're going to put these on the cookie sheets. I'm just going to clear some stuff off. Now the best way to bake cookies, in my opinion, is if you bake them on parchment. These are a softer cookie, so you want to bake them on parchment. If you don't have access to parchment, that's okay. Just spray the sheets really well. But the best thing about parchment is then you don't have to wash your cookie sheets. And you can take them right off, put them on the counter to cool, keep using your sheets. And also the best tool to scoop out the cookies is a cookie scoop. These are from Pampered Chef. This is the medium-sized scoop. You can also use the small scoop or the large scoop if you want to make some really good big cookies. But everybody around here prefers the medium scoop, so that's the one I use. They also have these at restaurant supply stores, and more stores are carrying a general, I don't know how many ounces this is, but more of a medium-sized scoop that's perfect for cookies. But these will save you so much time and make all your cookies perfectly even. So just grab a scoop of dough, plop it on the parchment. Just continue to do that. You want to spread these apart. If you're using a baker's half sheet or a big cookie sheet, I usually go 3 rows by 4. And they always bake up beautifully like that. If you're making them smaller, you can fit more on, but I don't like it when they run together. It just doesn't look as pretty. Cookies also seem to spread a lot less when they're baked on parchment, especially in warmer weather if your kitchen's really hot. So I'm just going to continue scooping these. So we got one more row to go. Whoops. This dough is addicting. I mean, it's so much better than regular cookie dough. I just want to eat like the whole batch. Dough. It would be the size of a house, but hey, you enjoyed that dough. You want to bake these in a preheated 375-degree oven. If you're baking these on convection, you can bake them at 350. You want to always reduce the temperature 25 degrees when baking on convection. So we're going to pop these in the oven. Bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes, depending on the day, the oven, those are all factors contributing to exactly how long these are going to take. These around at my house take about 12 to 14 minutes. But I'm going to check them at 10 because it just depends on the dough that day. You want to make sure that they're still a little soft in the middle when you take them out so that they're not overbaked. I'm going to continue scooping these out, and then when we come back, we're going to pull those out of the oven, and I'm going to show you a really good chocolate chip cookie. Okay, we're back. Now these cookies were in there for about 14 minutes, and you can tell that they're done because they're lightly browned on the outside. They're a little soft in the middle. If you touch them, poke them, they're a little soft, but that's good because you want them to be that way so that as they cool, they're going to firm up more and they're not going to be overly dry. They're going to be soft and chewy. They're just beautiful. I'm sure the camera doesn't do them justice. They're loaded with chocolate chips. The smell is intoxicating. You've got all that vanilla and butter and oatmeal and all that chocolate. So if you baked them on parchment, you can grab the edges of parchment, take them right off. They're going to firm up as they cool. They're still pretty soft, but there they are hot. Oh, they just look gorgeous. And if you follow all these directions, I can assure you that you'll get beautiful cookies just like these. They're simple, they're easy to make, and they will for sure fill your chocolate chip cookie craving whenever needed. Thank you for watching today, and I hope you get in your kitchen, pull out all those ingredients, and make these cookies.